October the 13th of 2025, influencer Thi Ngoc Ngan, better known as Gan98, was arrested in her native Vietnam for selling dangerous substances under the claim that the products would aid in weight loss. As reported by local media, Ngan had gained attention through live streams, sensual imagery, and high-profile relationships, often wearing revealing attire. Ngan founded and personally ran Zubu Company and Zubu Shop. Through them, the influencer sold legally registered products but also offered vegetable collagen capsules. They were not authorized for distribution and were part of a free gift scheme and marked not for sale to avoid regulation. Consumers did in fact pay for them since they were part of package deals with the registered products and marketed as enhancing weight loss when used together. They were shipped from Hanoi plants to Zubu Shop's Ho Chi Minh City warehouse. The products were distributed via TikTok and other social media platforms as well as through the Zubu Company hotline. The funds made from sales were funneled into Ngan's personal account through the accounts of her friends and relatives as a way of hiding the money trail. When the authorities investigated the matter, they found that the collagen capsules were not only counterfeit, but that some contained dangerous substances such as sibutramine and phenolphthalein, known for potentially increasing the risk of cancer, in addition to causing cardiovascular problems, high blood pressure, and digestive disorders. The investigation revealed that Ngan was at the center and handling all aspects of the illicit operation. Number 15. Harrison Sullivan. 22-year-old English influencer Harrison Sullivan, known as HS Tiki Toki, built a sizable following through fitness-related content. He was also known for his love of supercars and infamous for his reckless driving. On the afternoon of March the 24th of 2024, Sullivan crashed his purple McLaren 720S into a black Audi while driving on the A30 London Road near the town of Virginia Water in Surrey. Sullivan, who'd bought the supercar weeks prior, fled the scene in the immediate aftermath, abandoning the total McLaren and his injured passenger, fellow influencer George Elliott, better known as General G. He was seen lying in grass verge beside the road, writhing in pain while clad in a Louis Vuitton outfit. Two occupants of the Audi were reported to have suffered minor injuries. A witness who was recording the scene was heard remarking, "HS has f***ing walked off, left his McLaren and walked off." When the witness asked Elliott if he was alright, the influencer replied, "No, I felt something cracked." His condition wasn't believed to be life-threatening. In the lead-up to the crash, Sullivan was showing off his new car, which had a top speed of 212 miles per hour. He and Elliott joked around and the latter told his followers, "I'm going to be whipping this around like no other. Trust. All the things are going to chase us down." The previous month, Sullivan had attracted negative attention after he'd recorded himself speeding in a Porsche 992 Turbo S, a car capable of going 0 to 60 miles per hour in a little over 2 seconds. He pushed a Porsche to 90 miles per hour while driving down a residential street. One critic wrote at the time, "Leave driving to the grown-ups for your sake and everyone else's." Following the crash, Sullivan skipped out on a court appearance in November of 2024 and traveled to Qatar for an exhibition boxing match, but continued posting videos. He remained a fugitive until October the 10th of 2025 when his arrest was announced. Updates indicated that Sullivan was held without bail and due to appear in Staines Magistrates Court in October of 2025. Number 14. Julia Hill. In August of 2025, Julia Hill, a TikToker with over 1 million followers, recorded herself running onto the baseball field at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California during an Angels and Reds game. Part of the clip was chaotic selfie cam footage captured by Hill, who was laughing and cheering as she darted across the outfield. Other clips showed her dancing before she was taken down, handcuffed, and escorted out by police and security guards. Hill would justify her behavior through the clip's caption, which read, "Intrusive thoughts got the better of me." The young woman, who went by Mysterious Julia on the platform, reported that she spent roughly 6 hours in jail. "Honestly, I thought I was never coming out for a second. I was so scared," Hill told her followers. Another TikTok video captured upon her release in the early hours of the morning was set to the song First Day Out by rapper T Grizzly and showed Hill dancing outside the police station. When one of her followers asked her why she'd stormed the field, the influencer simply replied, "Good question." She didn't reveal if she was charged with anything for her antics, but such displays are usually legally regarded as trespassing, meaning that the offense could be considered a misdemeanor. Number 13. Teddy Miller. Always remember, you can't make money if you're a said TikToker Teddy Miller in a video sales pitch in which he boasted his proficiency on the real estate market. The self-proclaimed Wolf of West Virginia, who went by @HowToMakeCrazyMoney on the platform, presented himself as a man living a life of luxury that featured him wearing high-end fashion items while adventuring to exotic locations. The display, however, was a facade that enabled the 35-year-old to defraud dozens of individuals. Miller targeted investors in two prolific scams. One promised lucrative returns for direct investments, which he claimed would go towards developing properties in Charleston. Miller maintained that his efforts would not only revitalize struggling neighborhoods, but that the work would have other societal benefits, since part of the workforce would comprise people who were homeless and those formerly incarcerated. As part of the second scam, the influencer offered a pooled real estate investment vehicle he called Bear Loot. He lied to investors, claiming they could expect consistent returns of at least 6%, track their investments on a website, and withdraw their money within 60 days. Through the two scams, Miller made at least $400,000. His mother, Deanna Drum, handled the day-to-day of the operation from June of 2021 to the summer of 2024, while Miller was living outside the US. Upon his return to the country, on August 9th of 2024, Miller was arrested. He ultimately pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud, and in September of 2025, he was sentenced to 7 years in prison, to be followed by 3 years of supervised release, in order to pay nearly $400,000 restitution. Drum had previously admitted aiding and abetting the sale and offer of unregistered securities, and her sentencing was scheduled for October of 2025. Number 12. Powerupvic. In mid-2025, videos began circulating across multiple social media platforms announcing the arrest of popular Florida TikToker Powerupvic, whose following was at over 1 million at the time. The man, who was known for flashing his gold teeth and flaunting stacks of cash online, was taken into custody for fleeing or eluding, possession of controlled substances, and being a delinquent in possession of ammunition, with all the counts described as violations of his probation. His previous charges remained unclear, but Florida authorities had been looking for him for months, and the influencer continued posting while he was on the run. In a live stream, he claimed that he was risking it whenever he went outside, adding, "I can't even go to the gym," and highlighting, "Eventually, I'm going to get caught." The influencer, Victor by his real name, at one point changed his appearance and added wick dreadlocks to his hair, with followers interpreting the decision as his attempt to further evade capture. He was eventually arrested, and he subsequently gave an update from behind bars in a video that was reportedly captured at the Pinellas County Jail in Florida. In the clip, Victor said that he was experiencing a minor setback for a major comeback, and claimed to have told the judge that he was trying to change his life. He also complained that his ex-girlfriend was spending his money. Some of Victor's followers asked why the cash-flaunting influencer couldn't bond himself out, at which point others pointed out that offenders arrested for probation violation weren't typically allowed bond. Number 11. Brenay Kennard. In September of 2025, North Carolina influencer Brenay Kennard was arrested for cyberstalking following an ongoing dispute with a Durham woman by the name of Akira Montague. They used to be close friends, and the latter confided in Kennard about her marriage. The influencer allegedly used that information to seduce Montague's husband. Kennard, a well-known TikToker who posted "Get Ready With Me" videos, cooking and makeup tutorials, began filming content with the man, and their relationship eventually turned physical. Montague discovered a video of them being intimate in January of 2024. In May of that year, Montague sued Kennard, accusing her of alienation of affection and criminal conversation. 4 days before the suit was filed, Montague was arrested after sending Kennard threatening messages that read, "I will kill you," and "I know where you stay." She agreed to a deferment of prosecution in December and was handed 12 months of unsupervised probation in order to have no contact with Kennard. In the fall of 2025, Montague filed a police complaint accusing Kennard of harassing her across multiple social media platforms and of making appearances at locations that do not pertain to her. Montague said that the other woman was intentionally causing mental and emotional stress to her. As of the latest updates on the matter, Kennard was released after posting a $2,500 bond. Number 10. Uncledged1. In the fall of 2025, a TikTok user who went by Uncledged1 sparked outrage on social media following a series of bizarre antics aimed at fellow travelers on the London Underground. They typically involved him sitting quietly in the carriage before suddenly shouting at his victims, who were often young girls or elderly women, and then breaking into song. The wannabe influencer was secretly recorded while pulling his so-called pranks, and in some incidents he attempted to make light of the situation by striking up a conversation with the person he'd just scared, even though most were still visibly shaken up. After the clips went viral, British Transport Police Chief Superintendent Chris Casey wrote on X in October of 2025 that the authorities had launched an investigation. Uncledged One took to social media and attempted to defend his behavior. He said, "I've just seen everything online. I'm just letting you lot know I was joking. I was literally just trying to be funny. I've done something that other content creators do. I was just trying to be funny." Other users, however, pointed out that his behavior wasn't as innocent as he would have the public believe. Among the many critics was one user who wrote, "So what happens if he scares someone with a pacemaker? He could have shocked someone to death. You don't know everyone's mental or physical health conditions." Subsequent information on the matter revealed that Uncledged One had been arrested under the Public Order Act 1986, which criminalized behavior that caused harassment, alarm, or distress in public. Number 9. Abdul Rahman. Leading up to the summer of 2025, Egyptian authorities had launched a crackdown on social media influencers whose content they deemed was contrary to the country's morality and community values. The Nile Delta Governorate of Sharqiya received multiple complaints about a young woman named Yasmin who had amassed a following based on her TikTok dances, which the complainants deemed inappropriate. She was reportedly dancing suggestively while wearing revealing clothing. The investigation led the authorities to the village of Esbet al-Insha, where they made the discovery that Yasmin was actually an 18-year-old male student posting videos in disguise. Teenager Abdul Rahman admitted that he had deliberately tailored the account to attract followers and generate advertising revenue. The revelation came as a shock for Rahman's fellow villagers, one of whom was quoted as saying, "We always saw him as a normal young man. Nobody ever suspected this." Law enforcement seized Rahman's phone and social media accounts. He was initially ordered to be held for 4 days, pending an investigation and a forensic exam. Updates indicated that the team was released on bail in mid-August after he was charged with impersonation and publishing content contrary to public morals. Number 8. Matthew Lani. South African influencer Matthew Lani garnered thousands of followers by offering medical advice on TikTok. Lani, who also sold medication online, eventually became the subject of backlash surrounding his lack of qualifications. He claimed to have obtained a medical degree from the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, but the institution reported that wasn't the case, with additional information suggesting that Lani hadn't even obtained his school leaving certificate. Then in late October of 2023, Lani was caught trying to enter Helen Joseph Hospital in Johannesburg, disguised as a doctor, complete with a surgical mask and a stethoscope around his neck. A spokesperson for the Department of Health reported that he had previously entered the same facility to curate misleading content under the pretense that he was a qualified doctor. Lani was caught by security guards on the latest attempt and tried to escape the hospital by jumping out of a bathroom window. He was apprehended again, and viral footage showed him being held down by security staff. When one guard waved the seized stethoscope at him, Lani insisted that it didn't belong to him. The influencer was shown wearing a t-shirt emblazoned with a picture of SpongeBob SquarePants and appeared to have blood coming out of his mouth. Ultimately, the National Prosecuting Authority decided not to prosecute Lani for impersonating a medical doctor, citing a lack of evidence. His conduct was regarded as a pursuit for the purpose of entertainment, and there was no indication that he'd actually done consultations. In 2025, Lani's lawyers demanded compensation in excess of $100,000, accusing the police of assault and unlawful arrest. Number 7. Josiah Kane de la Fuente. TikToker Josiah Kane de la Fuente, better known as D. Kane, gained attention on the platform for his lip-syncing videos, including one that went viral in October of 2023. Aside from being an online creator, de la Fuente was also a tattoo artist, and he had a number of face tattoos, including the number 13 in the center of his forehead and a cross on his cheek. On January the 13th of 2025, he was having a meal at a cafe in San Antonio, accompanied by fellow influencer Ash Trevino. They were soon joined by another woman, and an argument ensued between her and Trevino. The situation escalated and local law enforcement was called to the scene, whereupon they arrested De La Fuente. The influencer, who boasted more than 1.7 million followers on TikTok and 216,000 Instagram followers, was found to be in possession of a highly dangerous modified pistol. The weapon had been fitted with a switch which converted it from semi-automatic to full auto at the press of a button. Equipped with the proper magazine, a switch-modified Glock would be capable of firing up to 30 rounds within the space of 2 seconds. De La Fuente had been in trouble with the law in the past, and reports indicated that he was wearing an ankle monitor at the time of his latest arrest. His past offenses remained unclear. A mugshot that De La Fuente previously uploaded to his Instagram in June of 2024 gained over 50,000 likes. The fact that he was legally monitored when found with the pistol meant he also faced the possibility of being charged with a probation violation. Number 6. Calese Crowder. Leading up to the summer of 2023, influencer Michaela Witter started a TikTok series called Solo Dates, showcasing activities that single people could do alone. On August the 7th, Witter was recording herself browsing at the Barnes & Noble store in Burbank, California. One perverted man would, however, become the inadvertent star of Witter's video. Witter had begun recording 37-year-old Calese Crowder after she noticed him stalking her through the store. At one point, he crouched and invaded Witter's space by getting uncomfortably close to her legs from behind. He then proceeded to sniff her backside. I was so freaked out, he was literally under me, so freaking close to me, so I decided to tell the front desk, Witter recounted. Crowder did the same thing to another woman in the store. His go-to move while approaching the women was pretending to tie his shoes. He claimed to have been doing so upon being confronted by Witter, who highlighted that his claim was a lie since his shoes were already tied. She reported him to Burbank police and posted the footage online. It went viral, with a number of other women stating that they'd had similarly disturbing run-ins with the man. Crowder, who'd never had any aspiration of being a TikToker, nevertheless became one of the most recognizable faces on the platform. Around the same time, he was arrested for prowling in Glendale. On August the 11th of 2023, it emerged that Crowder had a long criminal history and had served 8 years in prison for peeping, prowling, and burglarizing homes. He wasn't jailed for the viral incident involving Witter. By the summer of 2025, Crowder had returned to his buttock-sniffing ways, with 2 reported arrests in as many months. Number 5. Taylor Frankie Paul. Utah influencer Taylor Frankie Paul rose to fame as the founder of #MomTalk, a term used to describe a community of Mormon influencer mothers that were creating content together. Paul went viral in 2022 when she revealed that she and her husband at the time had an arrangement and that they had been soft swinging with other Mormon couples. The term meant that they engaged in intimate activities with other partners without going all the way. The reveal drew enormous attention and subsequently led to Paul starring in the Hulu hit reality series The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Before she became a reality TV star, however, the TikToker was arrested for aggravated assault, 2 counts of domestic violence, child abuse with injury, and criminal mischief. By 2023, her marriage had ended and she was dating Dakota Mortensen. On February the 17th of 2023, Paul, who was at the time in her late 20s, launched a drunken attack on Mortensen, enraged that he wouldn't take her to a concert. She reportedly choked him, punched him, and struck him with a wooden playset and multiple heavy metal chairs. Mortensen captured part of the attack on his cell phone, but the footage wasn't made public. As she launched the household items, Paul accidentally hit her young daughter, Indy, who was on the couch next to Mortensen. When the police arrived at the scene, Paul, who at the time had over 4 million TikTok followers, gave them a teary-eyed rundown of the conflict. She was captured on body cam admitting that she went ballistic but claimed to have done so because she was so afraid of Mortensen that she peed her pants. By the man's account, which the police deemed truthful, he hadn't hit Paul and only pushed her in self-defense while trying to leave her home. Paul would look back on the arrest as her rock bottom, and she ultimately admitted assault, whereupon the other charges were dismissed with prejudice. Number 4. Gianluca Conte. Social media personality Gianluca Conte, who went by QCP online, began posting cooking videos on TikTok in 2019 and rose to prominence with a series called The Angry New Jersey Cooking Show. By 2025, the chef had become massively successful, with a following of over 15 million users on the platform and at least 8 million YouTube subscribers. He'd collaborated with numerous celebrities, was featured in notable publications, had released a cookbook, and was an ambassador for Serie A, Italy's top soccer league. There were, however, a few setbacks on Conte's road to social media superstardom, including an arrest in 2022. On September the 9th of that year, he was taken into custody for felony possession of stolen vehicle. The 22-year-old was caught driving a U-Haul van that had previously been reported stolen. Conte told the police that he'd borrowed the vehicle from a friend, but U-Haul had previously filed a police report stating that someone had rented the van but never returned it, and then ignored the company when they asked about it. Conte maintained that he was helping someone move and that one of his roommates was responsible for paying the U-Haul but hadn't done so. He was released on $25,000 bail, but subsequent reports suggested that the case against him had been dismissed. Number 3. Marlena Velez. The story of TikToker Marlena Velez went viral in the fall of 2024 after she was arrested for using fake barcodes at the self-checkout to steal over a dozen items from a Target in Cape Coral, Florida. She was identified through security footage and TikTok videos she shared on the day of perpetrating the theft. The 22-year-old's Get Ready With Me video showed her wearing the same outfit as the shoplifter, and she also documented picking out items from the Target and placing them in her car. Following her first arrest, Velez was taken into custody again after targeting the same Target. The young woman's lengthy criminal history included past arrests for grand theft, auto, and shoplifting. In spite of her legal problems, she continued posting on social media, and her follower count rose to over 500,000. Velez pleaded no contest to petty theft in the first half of 2025 and was sentenced to a 20-day work program, 2 years of probation, and was banned from all Target stores. Velez then made headlines again in October of 2025 when she was arrested for violating her probation and eluding law enforcement. On September the 29th, Cape Coral law enforcement had recognized her as the driver behind the wheel of a grey Kia Sorento. A stop was initiated, but the influencer sped away through a residential neighborhood and officers decided not to pursue her. In mid-October, the same vehicle was observed by law enforcement. They'd initially spotted Velez inside, but by the time that the car was pulled over, she was gone, and the driver denied knowing her whereabouts. The influencer was, however, found hiding on the backseat floor of the vehicle. Velez was taken into custody and booked at the Lee County Jail for violating probation and eluding police. Today's topic was requested by Miss Tina Hamilton 5714 and Leandria 47. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Yulissa Mendoza. On June the 26th of 2023, 4 armed burglars were captured on CCTV using mallets to smash the windows of the Burger Jewelry store in Mexico City, Mexico. They made their way inside and stole over a dozen watches valued at close to $100,000. The following day, one of the suspects, only identified as 27-year-old Marco, was stopped while driving a luxury car which had reportedly served as the getaway vehicle during the robbery. At the time, Marco was in the company of singer and TikTok influencer Yulissa Mendoza. The 25-year-old, who boasted over 1.4 million followers, maintained that she was only dating Marco and had no knowledge of the heist. The authorities, however, believed she knew more than she claimed. When the police searched the van, they found mallets, axes, a large quantity of cocaine, and a 9mm firearm. Judge Victor Elias Pacheco decided Mendoza would be arrested for 2 months while the investigation was carried out. She was charged with concealment by reception, as reported by El Universal. A number of Mendoza's supporters rallied outside the prison, where she was held, to protest her incarceration with banners and chants of, "Yulissa, you are not alone." They argued that Judge Pacheco locking Mendoza up was in violation of her human rights. Mendoza had made her last TikTok post on the day of the robbery, and her Instagram, where she had over 165,000 followers, hadn't been updated since December. Her partner, Marco, was identified as the mastermind behind the burger heist and was charged with robbery, drug dealing, bribery, and possession of a firearm exclusively used by the Mexican army. Number 1. Ali Abulaban. Leading up to the fall of 2021, California TikTok star Ali Abulaban had gained nearly 1 million followers on his Gin Kid account. He usually posted comedic impressions, and his wife, Anna, often made appearances in his videos. In spite of Ali's growing success, his marriage gradually deteriorated, and the tension between him and Anna became evident in the content he shared. In one live stream, Ali pointed at his wife and, while looking into the camera, said, "Don't get married, guys. I threw my whole life away for her." In another recording, Anna told Ali that their marriage wasn't healthy anymore Other content showed Ali telling his wife, "I gave you this life, and I'm going to show you how much you need me." By September of 2021, Anna had decided to get a divorce and accused Ali of repeated incidents of domestic violence. She asked him to move out of their San Diego home, and he did so on October the 18th. The influencer, who was described as possessive and controlling, became enraged at the thought of his wife leaving him and being with another man. He'd previously downloaded an app with a listening device on their daughter's iPad and hid it in the home they once shared at the Spire Apartments. On October the 21st of 2021, while the iPad was transmitting live audio via the Discord app, he overheard 28-year-old Anna laughing while talking to a man subsequently identified as Rayburn Cardenas Barron, aged 29. Ali rushed to the apartment and CCTV captured him taking the elevator up to the 35th floor and then darting towards the home when the doors opened. 1 second after he entered the apartment, audio captured gunshots ringing out. Ali executed Anna and Rayburn as they were sitting on the couch. He sent a photo of their bodies to his mother and then picked up his daughter from school. Ali called the police, confessed, and was arrested within an hour. He nevertheless pleaded not guilty during the legal proceedings that followed, claiming that he'd acted in the heat of passion. He was eventually convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder, enhanced by special circumstance allegations of committing multiple murders and allegations of using a gun. In September of 2021, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 50 years to life. Thanks for watching. Would you rather become the world's biggest TikToker or release a Billboard #1 album? Let us know in the comment section below.